Hello, everybody, and welcome to this industrial design quick ideation workflow demonstration in which I'm going to talk about my take on how sketching and 3D modeling belong together. So on the left side, you see an image. We have 16 quick thumbnail sketches of different bottle designs. What is really quite nice is you can see it's nice and orderly. We have 4 rows and columns. They're all very similar. They explore different design ideas. The first 4 bottles horizontally, you can see there are essentially a variation of each other. That's a really nice way to align all these images so you can compare them with each other. This type of quick sketching can be done very quickly. It doesn't take much time. So that is true. Their sketching is very fast. On the right side, you see now a cylinder, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different bottles, which are more refined versions of the sketches you see on the left side. And these bottles are very primitive. They're very basic. Lots of details are missing. And that means actually those were created pretty quickly too. So both are essentially ideation stages, either through sketching on the left side or through 3D modeling on the right side. This should not be an A versus B, but more also a good example to show people that sketching can be very fast and 3D modeling can also be very fast. Some people say sketching is fast, CAD is slow, and I think that's simply wrong because you can add a lot of details into sketching, but then you're prototyping, and yes, then it's slow. And equally, you can also perfect a hand drawing and spend 2 or 3 hours on one design, and that's also pretty slow. The key really is to use these two technologies, 2D sketching and 3D modeling, appropriately for the task at hand. And in this case, this is all about quick ideation. What is quite cool about the CAD component is that we can create a reference body that has 500 milliliters of fluid. And then you can see all these additional bottles, they all have around 500 milliliters of fluid too. So I know actually that the initial sketches are now transformed into more realistic to scale 3D models. One thing also sometimes you notice, and when you sketch and then you go into CAD, details and proportions change. That is one of the main reasons why I don't really sketch perspectively as much anymore, because to me, that is where I feel like then 3D modeling truly starts to take over. Let me show you how I structured also this design. So I brought in this image. By the way, you can bring in the image via the add image command, and then you might have to position and scale it correctly. By the way, the download link to this image is in the description of the video. And then I created a sketch, as you can see here. And this sketch has all sketches for these different bottles included. Here's a rectangle. I noticed that a rectangle 3.5 by 13 centimeters is around 500 milliliters. So then I made a copy of this. You see here I added a spline. By the way, I used the fit point spline. Then I brought in circles and lines, made circles and lines on the inside, revolved those, cut this out. Here I use just the control point spline to create this wave line and so forth. So you see the geometries are all really very basic. And even here the last one is just boxes. And then you can use the modeling tools, revolve, boolean, extrude, and cut. Here this is lofted. And you see here these edges were filleted. And then these edges were filleted, and then here this part was filleted. So a little bit more of details. But the main idea really is keep sketching and keep 3D modeling really to the bare minimum and produce many different ideas so you can compare. Okay, so as a quick introduction, I also know how to start. We could create a sketch, and I will turn here everything off. I will do this here, make a line there, 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 there. Very good. Then I can select the fill and an axis, do a revolve, select the whole body, go to measure, and then here I see the cubic centimeter that has to go down to 500. Then I have 500 milliliters. So the volume obviously is incorrect. What I can do now is the following. Well, I can play with the width and I can play with the height. And you can see how the volume is always being updated. So now we are 483, 800, 700, 500. No? I hope you can see that this is it's pretty easy to do. There, perfect. Okay. Like for sketching, this is all done in the Concepts app, where you can copy and paste and move things around. The same method you want to do here, which is why I'm only working in this one sketch. So I can select everything, go to the move command, make a copy, bring this over, let's say to there. Very good. We at one point would like to have kind of like a lip or something. So maybe something around 3-4 centimeters. Yeah, to there. Very good. That's fine. Then I do the same revolve, go to there and revolve. Can go ahead, measure. There we are. This is a little bit too sharp. I can select both edges and then round this a little bit. There. I have to be careful that the fillet is not undercutting, so I might have to move this a little bit more to the inside. Perfect. Cool. So I used a basic sketch and then filleting. I could also select everything, make a copy, bring this over. Again, you see, this is really truly all about mass production. I'm going to create a circle here, and I'm going to create a circle there. This line I will delete. This one I will connect to there. Here, this one I will connect and connect. This one can go, but I would like this to be horizontal. This one needs to be vertical, and because these are circles, they have to be tangent. Cool. Okay. We need something here to separate the cap. And then again, you see, when done correctly, this one was not, now it is. We can select these profiles, center axis, revolve, profile, center axis, revolve, select everything, measure, pin it. Very good. Sweet. So we're actually pretty close. That's good. I can go into the sketch again, maybe move this one a little bit further down. We have to be careful that vertical lines, horizontal lines remain horizontal, vertical. So I'm selecting all those there. We can also play with the width. This is then good to measure what's comfortable for your hands. So we have here a circle, so 6.5 centimeters as a diameter. I can select this one, make a copy, bring this over. There we are. And yeah, I had this idea of how could this look when there are also other openings in it. So there we are. See, I connected all this horizontal, vertical. There, you tangent. Same here. Same there. Same there. Cool. Then zack, 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 and revolve. Same task, revolve. And now I need to select that. So I will select these parts. Then I will turn on the body again. Then go to extrude symmetric, extrude this one out. Beautiful. To make this look a tick better, we can fillet this a little bit. There. Because this is on a circular surface, chord length will work better. Very good. Same deal, same step. You see, again, what I would like to stress is it is really mass production. So we lost 60 milliliters of fluid because of this opening. It's kind of cool, like how we can move this around. This is 2 centimeters, so finger easily fits in there. Yeah, to get our volume back, we might have to move all this up a little bit. Or maybe with M tool, bring this down a little bit. Wow, that's a tiny jump. Oh, I see. There's an interesting issue. Okay, it's all good. So we go to fix, and I would like to add that to it. So here I bring that back, I turn this on there. That's the reason why the volume jumped so much. But you see, with the timeline, that can be resolved in no time. Maybe make this a tick bigger. There. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. So now out of just one very basic cylinder, we already very quickly created 3 different parts, roughly around 500 milliliters. Yeah, and then essentially you can continue this design. I can do 2 more, maybe these 2. So this one here I liked. So I will go ahead and make a copy, bring this over. Then I will add a line here. You will see in a moment why. And then I will do a revolve. I will do actually, well, we can do then that way. Maybe here, there. So that I do revolve. Very good. And then how do we get from the piece on top actually to the other part? I might need to adjust this. Clear all, just this. Thank you. And then this circle, that's actually one of the great things of Shapr3D. We don't need to work with construction planes to move sketches. We can simply select a sketch, make a copy, move this around. There is number 1. I'm going to scale this down a little bit. Then I will make another copy to there, or I can just rotate it. Oops, don't make another copy. And this sketch I rotate a little bit. And then I go lofty, step by step. And that is how easily you can then create these different transitions. And then wherever these sketches are, that then defines how this actually looks. Then we can, or we have to select everything one more time, and you guessed it, another volume pin. There we see we lost quite a lot. So going back, so that you and you, all this we move up. There, and then we can go ahead and select these other sketches, move them around, rotate them as we want. Now you see then how this is all being updated on the fly. Pretty cool. Last one with these rounded pieces. There we are. Bring this over. Very good. In this case here, that one I delete. I could think about very basic designs where this is just a cut, or here we have kind of like something that goes more inwards, or with this rounded piece. There are actually two interesting ways how we can do this. So I go down, 1, 2, and then zing. Now I can use, for example, the grid to draw this better. Again, 1, 2, and the end. This one here I bring up, zooming out a little bit, and this is, the grid is turned on. Very good. So I'm using here kind of like the grid to very quickly position these elements. All those can go up a little bit there. Also here, tangent and tangent. That's important. Very good. And then when we do our revolve, there we have this. So this is like version 1, how this could be done. I will bring this one here down simply as a guideline. So I can see, hey, those need to be more there. So actually, now you see this curve lines up there again. So that's one way how to do this. Nice and organic. The other, maybe a little bit more labor intensive, but can be more precise. This is actually a good case of sketching quickly and now sketching more precisely. This definitely, people will understand what the design intent is. I can create myself here a small circle. Then that circle, I will create a pattern. Let's say 8. Zip, bring this down. Okay. There, this line is a little bit cranky. Oh, one more time. So there, and tangent and tangent. Perfect. And then this I will snap onto it. And now what I can do is I can select all these volumes. Now, this way now, if I do a revolve, you see I have these grooves. Or if I will then go ahead and select these parts and there and do the revolve. we will add them to them. No? Last quick demo is also I could do this, for example, this way, and this is then always about how to speed things up truly and then there. So I made a piece, and you see if you really know how to model quickly, like in this case, I'm breaking this up more as a modeling task instead of just only sketching. Now I can create these pieces out of just one revolve command. So the last one was kind of like a mixed bag of quickly sketching one profile smoothly, then drafting stuff more precisely, or then just only making one circle and then using the modeling and repetition commands to build that part. Okay, beautiful. The last step, maybe not to visualize things, is also we have all these bodies, for example, for the fluid. Let's say here you'll have one color, all the caps maybe have another color, you can go to your background gradient mode. We have this image, we turn this off, then the ground plane actually snaps to it. And then very quickly this way, we can then also have these bottles nicely next to each other. When you present this stuff or when you work, try also really to have an even spacing between the bottles so it's not so chaotic. This is one of the main reasons why the sketch looks actually quite nice, because it's very easy to read. There's a certain order to it. And with that, I basically covered everything what I wanted to say. That's it.